This cup of joe is 100% Colombo, wink wink. Cheers, Chupe and Laheim. To this fling we'll all get to know. Each one will be shared in its own time. From my hood to places near and far, on foot, skateboard, bike, or car, travels with Smokie inside and out, and outside and in, is from me to you, and so it begins. Through lenses and mics on my iPhone and computer, I'll be your companion at home or as a commuter. Sometimes the words will rhyme, as in this debut, or simple narration and visuals, and some with haiku. Music, art, gardening, food, and drink may all converge on screen, plus little sweet things, some big ones too, and lots in between. Much of it personal, but may it also contain universality. Not sure what's around the bend before we know its totality. I am your friendly host known as Smokie B. No, I don't smoke, but my DJ name comes from TV. A 90s dramedy abbreviated as NX or NE. I'm part of a volunteer radio station virtual community. And I grew up with Smokie the Bear, my inner animal too. I love cozy campfires and fireplaces, and that is also true. And this first in a series is a riff from that favorite show. In the spirit of Ed Chigliak, there's warmth and a Bon Iver glow. Gaia, that's our home. Totality seeks me from falling out and being displaced. I plan things out, but the emergent will sign, if I don't rush, the flowing moments in time. This place where I live is California, Granada Hills. It's all part of LA, but with less glamour, grittiness, and thrills. Some streets are newly smooth, others neglected and cracked. So much asphalt paved over from what some may lack. Population, about 54,465. Not counting dogs or cats. Situation, getting to be more crowded. A heavier load than light. Complication replacing the simple life. Weather turning left to right. Interpretation of heart beyond the vanity. Putting the brakes on the human race. Stop and see it whole to feel more humanity. Not in TikTok spurts, but in a digestible pace. Pothole shots have weakened shocks of the days we often need to face. We have the 118 and 405, but these freeways sure cost a lot of time. Oxymoronic rush hour. We usually accelerate less than we brake. Don't cross that double yellow line in the carpool lane. A $491 fine. Nowadays we have podcasts and audiobooks as you sit and wait. California roll the stop sign when there's too much on your plate. Some days you own the traffic, like water smoothly going around rocks. Other times, if possible, it's best just to bike, skateboard, or go on walks. In our town, down the street, is where I had my first kiss. But closer by is where my missus was a young miss. My mom tended bar, tried to make ends meet. A little side job further up that old but now busy street. Granada, Spain is how it got its name. But hills are getting crowded above the valley plain. Empty fields filled, devices ever more wired. Great to unplug, take a walk, and send a friendly hiya. Citrus blossom spring can be hidden by exhaust, but you can climb above it all at a much cheaper cost. Atop Mission Point, you can even see the sea, and down through Bee Canyon is part of this park known as the massive Omelvini. Frog choruses sing harmoniously into the dark. But it is where I most feel free. The LA Aqueduct Cascades border the north, from high up in Sierra streams, reminding us it's a desert here, full of transplanted, desertful dreams. The valley's most neighborly town. The motto is usually true, and some good old days were sometimes bad, of course, but for now, I'll share some nostalgia with you. So episode 1 is more of an autobiographical story. Parts of it are probably in your past, too. From flats to the hills above, a geographical glory. Time to rewind without further ado. I lived in the apartments known as Park Place and Boardwalk. Not fancy like Monopoly, but it had a playhouse and a pool. Made some friends who shared sugar cereals and Pop-Tarts, big wheels, Viewmasters, click-clacks, and even cabinet tools. If you had the Evel Knievel stunt cycle, that was totally cool. Though I got lost once in first grade, many walked to and fro school. One old hangout, the dairy, had a large lot and drive-through. Early on was hide and seek. Ooh, my stomach's growling. And I was rarely found. Crawling behind scratchy juniper scrub was safe if you didn't make a sound. Or into the alley, past Pintos, Pacers, and Gremlins, as scents of mac and cheese and nutty noodle blended in. Or leftover war horses like Buicks, Olds, and Mustangs, with hamburger helper or tomato soup. Couldn't wait to dig in. These happy days are yours and mine, we sang, but not really happy all the time. And when it rang, was hoping it was a friend who'd be calling. To get my yayas out of my skin, I'd be crawling. Skate, bike, or walk, I didn't care. This is way before that revealing truth or scary dare. We built ramps from construction site scraps. Body slams 7 feet below, but not a scratch. Trucks got hung up on the half-pipe coping. Just couldn't breathe, but was praying and hoping I wasn't dead. My life's key in my pocket still latched. Later learned to fish, clean, cooked, and ate my catch. I still use my buck knife from when I was 13, slicing up new memories 2023 dream. Metal, plastics, and wood shop, such old school skills. Still use my envelope holder for my upcoming bills. We rode dirt bikes in Bull Creek, learned to fix a flat or use that tire goo. Downhill rush, drank from hoses, but then pipes were relatively new. Index Street, tires making popping sounds over fallen jacaranda blossoms. What was a giant rat my eyeballs found? No, it was just an awesome possum, making the nightly round. When streetlights went on, we knew exactly what to do. Head back and call out later to our little muddy crew. Santa Ana's behind our backs, smoggy gray turning blue, then pink, purple, and eventually the moon had shone through. Gone since breakfast and finally made it home. No documentation. No one owned a cell phone. And the pinball haven, waiting for it to open in the morn, known as the Family Fun Arcade. Our faces eagerly pressed against the window, their signal eventually parlayed. Lights flashed on, unlocked the doors. Always seemed a few minutes late. Then time to beat a few highest scores, but twisting a game changer's fate, arrived the historic pixel-based Pong. Pinball's reign, eventually gone. 'Twas game over, didn't keep up with the pace, and I still preferred the bells and bumpers sirens call. Anyways, video games had a longer wait. There was that spinning disc and wide flipper space. I'd give that fireball multi-ball with a tilt in haste. Moved on to digital ones, a little more coin to waste. There was Kiss, Playboy, and later on, Black Knight. Just a dime for the 60s ones, a 5 or 4-digit delight. But killing it on Captain Fantastic, you'd never go wrong if you played it just right, and high-scoring it and hearing your favorite song. Pinball Wizard in the zone and out of sight. Those were the days of youthful immortal bliss. Quarters dropped on glass from paper root tips. Taught me gumption, though it didn't make me rich. Spent most of it on skiing, fishing, or summer beach bus trips. Or a new great record release I wanted so bad to buy, from an AM pop single to a prog rock deep dive. Along with Elton, Joni, Cat, Queen, and Stevie's 45, tucked in his double LP. Then adolescent heartbreak melting, Journey's evolution after the classic Infinity. But we often return to heavier rock's holiest 70s trinity, Purple, Sabbath, and Zeppelin. To me, genres didn't matter. Perfect together, like the burger, fries, and Coke on my platter. But then came Ramones, Pistols, Clash, Costello, Cars, and Devo, tearing down rock god's stardom and corporate rock turning evil. Record sales slipping, losing their exorbitant revenue, but the Fast Times soundtrack helped. Filmed up the block across from E.T. in flight, turned north on White Oak Avenue. Thought disco mostly sucked, and it was soon pronounced dead. Didn't appreciate it till after I learned how to play the bass. Fresh new music on K-Rock then began to spread. It was all mixed up, and MTV became their face. Pretenders, Go-Go's, and Depeche Mode, wife's first place. Rockers who didn't adapt were flushed down the commode, yet Fripp played with Bowie, Blondie, and the Talking Heads. Close-minded traditionalist scene was quickly fled. Garage band, rockstar fantasy. I woodshedded riffs, neighborhood calamity. Future wife certainly heard our raucous, beautiful noise. Plugged her ears from our din with new wave synthy poise. Finally met her where Brad tossed his pirate hat out the window when he saw Cameron's cute girl in car, not at all a bimbo. It was Domino's Pizza, a job for in the middle of college limbo. Who knew she'd be in the cards till it was Love Shack, Queen of Hearts bingo. Though she prefers the second LP track, Quiche Lorraine, our previous lives in many ways were pretty close the same. We were even at the exact elementary school dance. Phone Betty and delivery boy woke up to a dream perchance. We didn't meet till near my high school sweetheart breakup. Lisa was cute, clever, comfortable, and she wore tasty makeup. Found out she lived right behind me, but it took some years to find me. We were friends before I dated her. That was quite a bit later. I had to get out to get in. To the Redwoods for college I went. Was part of a small town community, but my time there was soon spent. No jobs up there then, so back to the 818, Northridge, Winnetka, and West Hills, and moving forth to Canoga Park, then back to the current GH. Next, our daughter left for college this year up north. Our cat sleeps in her bed in her place. I still need some serious serenity, so there is that special place. So when I am able, I head up to good old O'Melveny and chill out from the anxious 21st century to feel my heart beat slowly, recall my true identity. Hey Louie, take a look at this. It's amazing. I could show you some cowboy cologne about right now after that ascension. Woo! Oh yeah, get that on that underarm, get that on that other underarm. Smelling real nice and natural. Ooh, more wildflowers. Beautiful. Cheers. My hometown changed without and within, was ready to take a good look around. After all, endings circle back to begin. Between cleaner skies and covered ground, perhaps new light is to be found through experiences where anyone's been. No longer the pinball bumping into all that's bound, stumbling here and there though, repeat lost and found, carrying on through the manifesting vision and sound. Rolling on to the present by foot, car, board, or bike. We ordered Domino's Pizza just for fun the other night. Then there's a skate park still selling bands, and there's the 99 store. Trader Joe's keeps on keeping on, and the sushi's where McDonald's was before. Pizza dough whirls where 33s and 45s used to spin. The arcade is aquatics, now under fluorescence dimmed. The theater's gone now where Steven and the Shark once passed, but our food truck Fridays is kinda hip. Enjoy it while it lasts. Things become extinct as I'm passing on this lore. Fresh eyes do perceive better who's behind the door. Big picture viewpoint, 3 trees was actually 4. And the roots spread out so we can feel ours some more. And before those were the footsteps of the First Nations. Chumash, Gabrielino, Tataviam, original appreciation. All the abundance underfoot and above, often missed when push turns to shove. There are seconds to savor in every sight, and put the old days in their context. Rose-tinted glasses need to be wiped, or you're blinded down a thorny vortex. Been loosening up the clasp of the clenching frown, and there's nowhere around for us to truly cling. Tailless slopes tumble, around dried grass turn brown, but fresh green blades return every refreshing spring. Meanwhile, we celebrate community, and there are Sicilian light parades. Sometimes we grow up, and sometimes we don't. We like the quiet life, especially under an oak. People come to our neighborhood, and sometimes they go. Some days are so hot, some we see snow, but something new is always happening if you are willing to create and grow. And just observe what's before you. See mockingbirds chasing ravens, a free moment from the front row, and a little bit of heaven, Tweedledee, for you and I to know. Sunrises are lights of possibilities, flinging warmth into each ray. Sunsets send embers into evening as we cozy up from another splendid day. And after this stanza, a related recipe will be shown. Granada means pomegranate, in case it isn't known to the viewer. And thanks for traveling along. It's almost time to go. See you at the next and shorter Travels with Smokie video show. But first, here's breakfast with a gourmet twist, sweet for a relaxed morning you won't want to miss. 1, 2, 3, hit it, boys. Like Donkey once said on Shrek, I'm making waffles. But these are going to be pomegranate waffles because of Granada, as in hills. Here we go. What do we have? Dry ingredients first, except for the oil. I'm going to throw that in there at the bottom, just for fun. Woo! And how much oil was that? 1/4 cup. Might need to add a little more. We'll see how it goes. I'll make this one first. This is kind of based on an old recipe, but I tweaked it a little. Okay, to make it somewhat healthy, hemp hearts, tablespoon. Woohoo! Get those cooked up a little more than the rest of the flour. This is Trader Joe's pumpkin flour, almost a cup because I put the hemp hearts in. You could do regular flour and then use canned pumpkin if you want, a couple of tablespoons maybe. So I didn't have that, so I'm using this. And I like the salty sweet yin and yang thing, so here's 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I'll do 1/4 teaspoon, just shy of 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Woo! That might be a lot. We'll find out when I taste it. 1 teaspoon baking powder. And is that it for the solids? I think so. We'll give that a little shake around, and then we'll add the liquid stuff and make a beautiful concoction and cook it up. And here is the liquid portion of our recipe. Little cap full of vanilla. Trader Joe's organic is mine. Then here's a little quirky thing I found at the store. My stepdad used to put only 45 beer sometimes in his pancake mix. I decided to go with 1970s style psychedelic arcade golden rye IPA Firestone Walker. Check it out. It's like an old pinball machine. Perfect for this situation, huh? I'm doing 1/4 cup of that, and there that goes. Nice floral notes. You can get the same effect pretty much with maybe 1/4 cup or in between the two with this sparkling polar essence of fresh lemons, raspberry pink lemonade, seltzer, or pomegranate juice. It's not pure, it does have the sugar in it, so something like that. All right, and then what is this? 1/2 cup of milk. That was 1/4 cup of beer, 1/2 cup of milk. You could just do 3/4 of everything, you know, however it works out. So, I mean, 1 1/2. Almost forgot the egg, the incredible edible egg. Gotta have that in there. Yeah, I'll pour all this into the solid mix and mix it on up. Okay, we have the liquid and we have the solid with the oil. I'm gonna just quickly beat this liquid up just a tad. All right, and now I'm gonna pour that all around this solid and then give it a nice little whip it good. Bum, 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 bum. All right, we're heating up our little mini waffle maker with X's and O's. How lovely. This is my daughter's, borrowing it while she's away to college. She should take this up on her next semester, actually, now that I think about it. All right, here we go. Just beat it. Low, medium. Don't want to overdo it, right? Because then you get too gluteny. All right. Nice and orangey. Looks a little thick to me. Maybe I'll add a little bit more milk. I'm gonna go with 1/4 cup. We'll see. Then we can adjust the recipe at the end. See if it matters. Okay. All right, so I added 1 more 1/4 cup of milk. So then that would be 3/4 cups. Okay, give it a quick whip-a-woo. I always forget that's high and low, it's backwards on this thing. All right. Sometimes you gotta get messy because life is messy. It's just a pain to clean it up. All right, yeah, that looks a little better. Okay, so according to this little thing here, you're supposed to put in 1/4 cup of mix after you spray. So, is it hot yet? Yeah, the light has gone off, so it's hot enough. Spray all around. All right, and we'll do 1/4 cup. Yeah, that's about it. I might have gone slightly over. Bye-bye. tbsp more. All right, we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Well, it's been about a 2-minute wait, and it sure smells good. Maybe 3 minutes. Take a peek. Ooh, that looks good to me. Check that out. Yummy. All right. Got to make sure you use something nice that's not going to burn. Oh, perfection. Hugs and kisses, hugs and kisses. Woohoo. All right, now we got to top this thing. And here we go. I'll be right back. All right, I've buttered it. I put on a pomegranate in each kiss and hug because I'm a dork. It's still hot enough though. And I'm kind of old school. This reminds me of my mother. And I like straight molasses sometimes instead of syrup. And I like to just kind of go, woo. Sorry, Lisa, if I'm making a mess on your placemat. Beautiful. Don't want too much on there because it's already kind of sweet. All right, taste test time. Let's see. Still fluffy, so I like that. I was a little concerned because it was kind of thick. It's delicious. And healthy too. Tastes just like candy, almost, not quite. All right, have a lovely day. See you later. Get crazy with the cream cheese. Yum.